888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. My guest is Mike Lindell. Mike, I was just saying that you've received a cease and desist letter from Dominion threatening to sue you for defamation unless you stop making what they consider to be defamatory statements. What's your response to that? We still have him? Hello, Mike? Mike Lindell.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Hello?
I can hear you now,
okay,
Mike.
Yeah, Larry, this was like an old mafia letter back when I used to about sports and they'd come to collect. You have been warned. And you know what? I'll tell Dominion this right now. Go ahead and sue me. We have all the evidence. We need to get this out there, and nobody looks at it. The Supreme Court, if they looked at this, they'd vote 9-0 that this country was attacked by China, and they flipped. Larry, the real vote total was 79,800,000 for Donald Trump, 68 million for Biden, and that doesn't count all the other kind of fraud that went on there. So deduct another 2 million, which gets to 66 million. And that's everyone's going, not Mike Lindell, he's nuts. No, I've seen it. I've seen the mathematics with those forensics test that was done to make sure that these numbers were accurate. And inside we have the footprints of the machines. So these guys are in big trouble. When this ever gets before the Supreme Court, I'm hoping, and it'll be 9-0. And I don't know what they'll do then, but it's not over today. Today's just the beginning.
Mike, I know, Mike, you have been recently meeting with President Trump. You shared this information with him. What has his reaction been?
I only had 5 minutes in there, and I said, Mr. President, you might not know about this. This just came out, this new evidence. We were right all along about the machines. I said, I'm 100% sure I would risk everything in my life for this. And he said he gave it to bring upstairs with the two lawyers to see if it had any merit. We went upstairs, and they basically kind of just got me out of the White House. Yeah, we'll look into it.
So Trump's lawyers have been dismissive. You have not contacted Ted Cruz or Giuliani about any of this?
No, I have not.
And Senator Hawley has not been in touch with you about any of this?
No.
Mike, what about going to the media? What about going to the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington Post with all of this stuff?
They don't. I've tried, Larry. They've tried that. These guys tried that, and we went to them. I've talked to them every day now for the past 3 days. I said, "You guys want to put out the proof, the evidence in your paper?" They're not going to do that, Larry. They suppressed everything. Everything was suppressed.
Mike, I can imagine, just playing devil's advocate, somebody listening saying, anybody can hire a consultant to have that consultant come up with this, that, and the other. Anybody can do that. I'm confident that Democrats, if this evidence were to come forward, would also come up with their own mathematical expert to say this is BS. In fact, what happened was perfectly natural. Aren't you afraid they're going to do that?
No, because this is a footprint. This is inside the machine. You can't lie there. We just had an expert validate that this was true. And anybody that looks at this, you see it's a timestamp. You see the name of the person or the country. You see how many votes were flipped. It's like a printout from like if you had a computer and you wanted to check on a timestamp inside your computer. We wanted to make sure that the numbers. We wanted to make sure the numbers, like I'll give you an example. In Fulton County, Georgia, 24,000 votes were flipped in that county, according to these timestamps. Now, over here, this guy did the math, the forensic cyber math on it, mathematics, which is very complicated with these fractions, and he said that's spot on. So it was just one validating the other, two separate complete entities. So Larry, I'm 100% sure everything I have in this world. Well, I have been on. I bet this is
Mike. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert in cybersecurity. I assume you're not either. So therefore, how do you know whatever it is you're being shown is legitimate, is real proof?
Because I dug into it, Larry. I talked to the guy. I talked to how they got it, where they got it, and I've been involved. I've spent $2.5 million of my own money right out of my own pocket, and I've done deep dives. I do my own due diligence. So I checked in, and we would take another hour on your show to tell you everything I do. Flying out to meet people, looking at stuff, talking to the lawyers that also looked at a lot of this stuff. Like Sidney Powell. She looked into this stuff. She was right all along that there was something wrong with these machines, that they did something. But this is the thing. Going forward, Larry, They're never again. This is a miracle we're in. If Donald Trump wouldn't have got all them votes and broke the algorithms, we'd have never known there was anything wrong with these machines or this election. Now we can finally get to the bottom of it. And these machines, never again should there ever be a machine.
Let's talk about going. Let's talk about going forward, Mike. What makes you think the Supreme Court is going to take up the case? They haven't taken up any case so far.
Well, they don't. That's just one way to get it out there.
What's the other way? I mean, Joe Biden is president of the United States right now. Even if you were to put on some sort of telethon and a bunch of experts and a bunch of people
that's an idea too.
It is an idea. But even if you did that, even if you put on a bunch of people that had impeccable credentials and credibility, how's that going to undo what just happened today?
Well, you know what? We're in an anomaly, Larry. When a crime's committed out there by these other countries that did this, China and these 4 other countries, and I don't know what we do. We'd have to do something because you'd have a president that wasn't duly elected by the people. So, why do you think they win? None of the evidence was ever looked at by any judge in this country, except for Michigan, where they found 6,000 votes flipped in one machine. And you know what they said? Nobody gets to look at another one. Nobody gets to look at another one, and the American people accepted this. It's just, but we're not going to accept it. I'm going to keep going. We're going to get it out there. God will reveal the truth, and you know what? This is on God's timing.
Well,
I don't know how it's going to happen.
Mike, at the very least, if you continue making the statement that you're making, and if Dominion is serious, you're going to be facing a defamation lawsuit, and all the information on both sides will have to come out because truth is a complete defense.
Amen. That's what I want. So, Dominion, bring it on.
I got to go, Mike. Mike, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right. God bless you.
God bless.